the things to do.
All right, and we are officially recording. We are back, guys. Knolly Success Coaching with my man, Artemis Prime, and all of you wonderful people. We're back for another edition, another episode, another weekly occurrence of Knolly Success Coaching, the thing that we agreed to do with you guys every single week. And I got to tell you, it's the highlight of our week for Artemis and I to jump on with you guys and help lead, help share, and also learn from you guys. I see, Artemis, that if you get to class early, you get a couple of extra free nuggets, right? From Tessa. Is that what happened today?
Yeah, you know, Tessa was giving us, Tessa and Donna were giving us the main master class on, you know.
And Donna, hey, we might have some new teachers here pretty soon.
Yeah, they're talking about new home construction and incentives, and you know, agents are going to become very attractive to builders in the next year.
Yeah,
for sure. So that's one of the things Knolly will be teaching soon is new home construction.
Yeah, in my series, the top 5 niches, actually new home construction is one of those. So, and I will actually post the whole playlist by next week, we should roll out every single video in that series. There's actually 7 videos. So thanks guys for arriving early. So today we're going to talk about secret number 2. Now you remember last week, now it's kind of crazy when you learn about these secrets, they're kind of crazy. They go a little bit off topic or a little bit off of, they're not intuitive. Let's just say it that way. They're not intuitive, but they do work. Okay. They do work. Hold on a second. I'm getting a notice that my internet is unstable. So I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi back on and I'm going to go to my 5G.
Yeah, for those of you here at Knolly Success Coaching, we invite you to share Knolly's videos with your fellow agents, those agents who don't have the mentors, the systems, the training. Please share these videos and also share our Facebook group. This is free content, free forever for Facebook and for our agents and community. So we encourage you to really get this information out there. So, you know, the ocean rises together and all ships rise.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's get this information.
Yeah, I love how you said that, Artemis, because a lot of times agents, we're very notorious for having a mindset of scarcity. We believe in lack. And the reality is, one day I'll teach on this, but the reality is scarcity doesn't even exist, okay? It's artificially created. We have artificially created scarcity in our society. We won't teach on that today, though, but that's good. I appreciate that, Artemis. So a couple of announcements that I want to bring up real quick. Number one, for those of you, I know that many of the mentorship masters are here on the call. So you guys have a call at 1 o'clock. So just want to remind you guys about that. Another announcement that I have is that Artemis, okay, he's my coach. And, you know, a lot of you guys have been hitting me up on the private, like, hey, do you have one-on-one coaching? Well, Artemis does. He has, you know, if you go to artemisprime.com, he's got that world famous flow consultation. So he'll get you in with a one-time flow consultation. He won't tie you up in this long-term contract, but if you do feel like you want to have that one-on-one, because I just got hit up, Artemis, I haven't even told you this, by a guy a couple of days ago, and he's like, man, I need one-on-one coaching really, really bad. And he can afford it. You know, a lot of people can't afford it right now. So Artemis and I were like, look, we're just going to make our stuff free, okay? But the one-on-one coaching, we can't do that for free. But just if you need it, those of you guys have been asking me, I just remembered to bring it to the meeting today.
Yeah, and I'm also working on some promotions too, some discounts for people who are on a budget. So I'll announce that later on.
Okay, cool. And let's talk about the units. So you guys, in the Facebook group, there are units. Write that down, units, U-N-I-T, units. I know it's kind of crazy. It took me a while to get used to it as well. But Artemis has been working with Facebook groups for many years, so he knows about these units. And these units are kind of like modules that you go through, and they teach you stuff, right? So we have 3 units. The first unit is by Artemis. It's where Artemis is actually teaching you how to, I would say, there's a word that Artemis uses for technology. What is that word, Artemis?
Digital hygiene.
Digital hygiene. Yeah, this is so important. It's more important than you think. And people have been going nuts over unit number 1. So he's got several trainings in that. Unit number 2 is where you get all of my resources, my downloadable resources, books and different things like that that are absolutely free. So make sure you do unit number 2. And then unit number 3 is all about your accountability partner, okay? Part of what makes this a successful group is you partnering up with an accountability partner, but you've got to do it the right way, okay? You've got to do it the right way. So check out unit number 3 to show you the right way to connect with an accountability partner. And then I'll kind of run through the benefits of the Knolly Success Coaching here in just a moment. But before I do that, and before I get Artemis on, I want to present my stuff, okay? Now, you remember last week, we talked about the number 1 secret to your ultimate success. The number 1 secret. These are non-intuitive, guys. These are not the kind of secrets that your mom and dad taught you about, or that you went to college for 6 years or 4 years or 8 years to learn, okay? So what was secret number 1?
Become famous.
Become famous.
Famous. Yeah.
Become a rock star in your community.
Yeah. See, a lot of times people, and you guys really, there was a guy that I interviewed, and I'll actually be releasing his interview in a couple weeks. We actually pulled it back when COVID hit because we had some other interviews that we thought were more, or other things that we thought were more important videos to put out there. But this guy did this. He became famous, okay? And it tripled his business. And he's doing it mostly through YouTube, okay? So I'll be sharing his story in a couple of weeks. He's a member here as well. But here's the thing, guys. This is not intuitive. Now, number 2. What could number 2 be? Well, I'm going to talk about number 2. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go through number 2. And then I'm just going to kind of break it down for you guys. So let me go. I was good at rebooting my computer today, Artemis, so I don't even have my slide deck up.
Good. You know, sometimes the Ethernet cable doesn't work like it should, so going Wi-Fi is a better bet. Sometimes.
That's weird. Yeah, because I always
I know the cable glitches. I'll just let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know that. So again, last week we talked about this very first secret, number 1, and that's how to go from feast or famine mode to a consistent 10,000 a month over the next 12 months. Now that's secret number 1. But when you look at secret number 2, this is, what is it? Oh, it's the same. Secret number 2, how to eliminate effort from your business so that you can succeed with ease. And write that down. Eliminate effort. Effort. See, remember in the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, you guys should all have a copy of this book right here, okay, by Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He says that one of the chief reasons that we don't succeed is because we put in too much effort. Too much effort, okay? Remember, he says there's really 2 chief reasons that we don't succeed, okay? In any endeavor. Number 1 is that, our level of belief is too low, okay? Our level of belief is just too low, okay? And the way he says it is not enough. We don't have enough confidence. And then the number 2 is too much effort. So this is what we call, number 2 is what I call do the 2, okay? You're going to hear a lot about this over the next week, the next month, the next year, the next 2 years, and the next 100 years. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to be teaching this, is do the 2. Okay, do the 2. Let me write it down. Do the 2. So we, in Mentorship Masters, it's another group that actually is kind of sponsored this group. I've been teaching this to our Mentorship Masters for years, and this is something that I began in my real estate career from the very, very beginning, okay? And by the way, let me just go into the 3 lead buckets. I'm going to remind you guys what these are. You've already got my book, Success with Listings. I know you already have it because you can download it for free or you can get it on Amazon. So the 3 lead buckets, when you do the 2, let me go back to talking about doing the 2. When you do the 2, that's to carve out 2 hours every single day for lead generation. Okay. 2 hours a day. Now, I first learned this from Gary Keller. Okay. I got to give the man props for that. That was back in 2003. I got a copy of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and Gary was writing about this thing called time blocking. Time blocking. And I got to tell you guys, it's the number one, besides becoming famous, it's the top reason for my success is that I time block every single day. Did it today. I did it today. And when you time block, you can only do 3 activities. Okay. Number 1, you can generate new prospects. I say new seller prospects. You can follow up with existing prospects, or you can create and implement marketing plans. Okay. Generate, follow up, create. That's all you can do. Now, you going on a closing. Okay. I don't go on closings during my lead generation time. By the way, I do it from 9 to 11 every day. Now, I actually do it. I call it a 2x4. I'll tell you about that in a moment. I cheat a little bit with it, and I'll share with you how you can cheat eventually or even now. So, but the 3 lead buckets that you want to focus on are your sphere of influence, your farm, and your niche. Okay, we talk about this in chapters 6 through 10 of Success with Listings. And here's the cool thing. No matter what business you're in, I don't care if you're in real estate, if you're a coach, a trainer, this goes for you, because you have 3 buckets where all the leads that you want are going to come from: your sphere of influence, your farm, and your niche. Okay. And what I teach, I'm going to go through these real quickly, and then I can upload these slides to you guys so you'll have them, but it's in my book. This is your sphere of influence. That's in chapter 7. Okay. I do an 18 touch. Okay. An 18 touch to my SOI. That's a monthly e-newsletter, a quarterly mailing, and a semi-annual call. Okay. And what I tell people, I saw one of you guys posted the other day, is there anybody that has a list of 1,000 people or 1,500 people that they personally call? Well, I don't personally recommend that you call everybody on your database, just your top 200. Okay, this is what I've been teaching, your top 200. Now, why do I not teach that you call everybody? I'll tell you why, because you won't do it. You'll get burnt out. You'll get burnt out. You won't do it. And Artemis, I've been teaching these guys, and I love you guys. Most of you guys are high Ds. I know what you will and won't do even better than you know yourself. I had a guy the other day, he came, he told me, Knolly, I just lead generated for 5 hours. Like, I'm going to give him a pat on the back. Look, I'm a steel Lord. I don't pat you on the back for doing things wrong. You know, I said, look, I applaud your enthusiasm, but it's called do the 2, not do the 5. Okay. And high Ds, they'll get so excited about this concept that they'll go lead generate for 6 hours, and then they won't do any lead generation for 3 or 4 days. That's not how it works, guys. You're kicking the can. It's a day by day. Number 2 is going to be your farm, your geographical area that you are basically dominating. Okay. And farms are coming back. It's a long game strategy. But number 3 is going to be your niche. Okay. Your niche. What is your specialty going to be? And I got to tell you, in my series, the top 5 niches in a down market, I'm identifying 7 niches. So you're not going to have any excuse not to have a rocket niche that you focus on. Let me just tell you real quick, guys, and I'm going to go into a little bit more about do the 2. For those of you that are new to the group, you want to join us. It's Knolly Success Coaching. It's absolutely free coaching. It's business coaching and life coaching. Okay. For most of us are real estate agents right now, but we have entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, doesn't matter. And we have a week grouply coaching call, Facebook group, coaching training, all this stuff that you guys get. There's no price attached to it. These were the early on prices that I thought about, but we make it absolutely free, absolutely free. We call it faith-based or Christ-centered, but we love all, all faiths are represented and welcome. So if you're not in our group already, you want to make sure that you sign up at Knolly.com. Write it down, Knolly.com. Don't do it now. Pay attention to Uncle Knolly for now, but later on, you can go and sign up. So let's talk about this whole concept of doing the two. Do the two. I guarantee you, if you will do this, it will create miracles in your life. You can't, and by the way, these three secrets that I'm sharing with you guys over the last week, this week, and next week, revolutionary. And they're so simple that most people won't do them. They're so simple that most people will just dismiss them out of hand and say, man, I'm not going, that's dumb. That, because they are a little bit dumb. I agree. I have the personality profile where I can look at these and say, that's just flat out dumb. Okay. And by the way, there are some things in this realm, okay, we call them the rules of this realm, that are just flat out stupid. I can call, I don't like them. You know, I don't much like gravity. Okay. But there's some things gravity's good for. And I got to tell you this, it's a rule of the realm. I don't like it, but I respect it. I wish I could fly. I wouldn't mind flying, but I got to tell you, gravity's in play. And just like gravity, these rules right here, number one, if you become famous and you do the two and you do number three that we're going to talk about next week, you cannot fail in this business. Okay. You can't fail. It's impossible. Anybody that I've ever coached, okay, you come to me, you say, man, I'm making 100,000 a year. I want to take it to 200, 300, 400,000. Or if you're not even doing six figures, I guarantee you it's impossible for you to do these three things and not hit six figures. It can't happen. It cannot happen. And that's why I tell people, these are the top three things that if you cornered me, okay, you got me in a room and says, Knolly, you know, here's, and y'all know my fees are kind of high when you get me one-on-one. I was talking to a guy the other day. He was like, let's do lunch. I said, well, pull up on my calendar. I got my schedule. You know, you can book lunch. He says, lunch, one-on-one lunch with me is $1,000 for 1 hour. Okay. If you want 2 hours, it's 2,000. Okay. And I said, but here's the thing with you guys, because you guys are part of my tribe. If you paid me $1,000 to take me to lunch for 1 hour, I would not tell you anything better than what I'm telling you on these next three calls. I guarantee you. Okay. There's no private like inventory of secrets that's going to go beyond what I'm going to share with you guys. So do the two. You have to have a lead generation bunker. Okay. Let me say it again. You have to have a lead generation bunker that you go into every single day. And I say Monday through Thursday. I know Artemis said 6 days a week. I say 4 days a week. Okay. Now in my book, I think I say 6, but what I realized is that agents wouldn't do it. So I'm constantly trying to make things easier for you guys. And I believe that you can get around the same amount of results if you do it 4 days. Okay. So 4 days a week, 2 hours a day. I call it a 2x4. Okay. 2x4. Just remember that. I'm going to just say, I'm going to do a 2x4. You create a lead generation bunker. When you go into your bunker, you have a note on the door that says, do not disturb. Okay. That's one of my free downloads. It's actually a note that you can print out on an 8.5 by 11 that you can stick on your door when you're lead generating. So your kids, your spouse, you know, your uncles, whoever you got live in your house on quarantine, they cannot bother you. Okay. They cannot bother you. When you go into your lead generation bunker, you take everything you need in there. Okay. You can take a 5-minute bio break every hour. Okay. But that's a bunker. You know what a bunker is? That's where you take all your snacks. You do not want to have a reason to leave your bunker. Well, I got to go get a cup of coffee. Take a thermos in there with you, with your coffee cup. Do not leave. Sit down and handle your business every single day, Monday through Thursday, 2 hours a day. Okay. And if you do that, it's called a time block. By the way, people tell me all the time, they're like, man, I'm not good at time blocking. And that's not true, because we've been time blocking since the day we were born. Okay. When you brush your teeth, that's a time blocked activity. When you take a shower, some of you guys are taking them a little bit less than other time. Yeah, you're taking them a little bit less because we're on quarantine. That's okay. But here's the thing. A shower is a time blocked activity. Watching Netflix is a time block, or going to the movies is a time block. Even when we had a 9 to 5, okay, those things that people call respectable, which I don't call respectable, but that's okay if you have one. You know, when we had those, that was a time blocked activity from 9 a.m. to 5, you time blocked. Okay. So what I'm telling you is from 9 o'clock. Now you say, well, not only can I do it at any other time? Yes, you can. You can. But what I've found is that when you do it when you're fresh, okay, some of you guys get up early. Okay. Maybe you do miracle mornings. So yours might be from 7 o'clock till 9. Okay. Or 6 to 8. Doesn't really matter, but I like to do it early in the morning. And if you ever skip, you always make it up. Let me say it again. If you ever accidentally skip it, you always make it up. I don't go to a closing during that time. I will not go on a listing appointment. Okay. And if it's from 9 to 11, we're not going on that. Well, I'm not going on that listing appointment. I'm not going on a closing that's going to be at 9 or 10 o'clock. If you text me, I will not answer you. If you call me, you won't get an answer. I'm in my lead generation bunker. Okay. That's how I've been successful. By my second year in business, you guys already know I was making over $250,000. By my third year, there was not a year after that where I made less than $450,000 in commissions in my pocket. Okay. In my pocket, $450,000. If I didn't make 6 figures per quarter, something was wrong. And I did it through these 3 secrets. Okay. And that's what I'm passing on to you guys. So I know there's a lot there could actually, the do the two is something that I can unpack probably for, I mean, that's something I can speak on for a long time. Now you can find it in the book. I speak on it in your copy of Success with Listings. And it's right there in, I think it's in chapter 1. It's right up front, chapter 1. And it's called, if you go to page 20 or page 19, right there, it's called A Day in the Life of a Successful Listing Specialist. Okay. And the first thing I have you guys doing now, I used to tell you guys to do it from 9 to noon. Okay. But I quickly have found out, once I figured out what my personality profile is and how it does differ from a lot of agents, it actually differs there's no negatives and positives, but if you were to say one or the other, I probably would have more of a propensity to fail than most of you guys on this call. Okay. Because I don't have a high D. They say it takes a high D to be successful in real estate. But what I've learned is you can have any profile and be successful in this business if you lead generate to your personality profile. I'm going to leave you with that. You have to lead generate to your personality profile, or you're going to hate the business. If you hate the business, if you don't like what you're doing, it's because, like, for example, I've never made a cold call in my life, ever. I don't make them, but I still sold 1,000 houses my first 10 years, never made a cold call. And a lot of you guys have been brainwashed into believing that you have to do things that you don't want to do. And it's not true. Pareto's principle. I said I was going to leave them with this, Artemis, but I got one more thing for you. Pareto's principle. There was a guy named Pareto. He was an economist. Okay. And he just is observed from being an economist, that when he went out and checked his bean pods, he said, man, I'm getting 80% of my fruit, my beans, from 20% of my crop. So then he started looking into other areas. And then little by little, he found this principle that we call Pareto's principle. Okay. What that means is that 80% of the results will come from 20% of the actions. Okay. Now, this 2 hours that you do every day is going to be what gets you 80% of your money. If you want to make $200,000, okay, you're going to make 160,000 of it just because you do the two. That's how important it is. Okay. By the way, Pareto's principle goes far beyond just beans, right? They say that most people wear 20% of the clothes that they have, they wear 80% of the time. Okay. So what it is that 80% of the output, okay, is based on 20% of the input. Okay. Or 80% of the results are based on 20% of the actions. And I see you guys, I see you. You're out there, you're hustling, you're grinding, you're working 10 hours a day. And Uncle Knolly, listen to this, Uncle Knolly can outperform. I already know this because I was in the top 1% of realtors in the nation. And I'm such a nerd that I actually figured it out that I was one of the top 0.25%. Who cares, right? Nobody cares about that. But the reality is I'm outperforming 99% of other agents by working less, Yeah, but it's all about focusing on the right stuff. Remember, Artemis Prime, if you do the right things in the wrong order, you still don't get the results. Now, with that, what I want to do, I want to hand it on to my man, Artemis Prime, my personal coach. You guys get a 2-for-1. He's going to be talking to you a little bit about spirituality, and he'll probably lead us through a little bit of breathing, because I know you guys are probably breathing a little heavy right now after getting a dose of Uncle Knolly. So with that, Artemis Prime, take it away, my brother.
Hey, Knolly, thank you so much. Welcome everybody to the call. I did a Mindset Monday training last Monday, and I talked about journaling. And I made a statement that I learned from my coach. The quickest way to improve your financial condition is to be grateful for what you have and to cultivate the attitude of gratitude right now, and to be able to create coherent emotion. I'm going to move my microphone a little closer here. So a lot of people are stressed out right now. A lot of people are acting from fear, acting from hustle, acting from overwhelm, and that's going to burn you out. And none of you became agents to get successful and burn out at the top. You became agents because you desired financial freedom, the sense of freedom, the sense of purpose, the sense of care, connection, helping others. And so I want to share a little testimonial from the Facebook page about one of our agents. Her name was Wendy McNolly. She says, "This is such a great reminder on things that I was doing, but I got busy and I got away from them. I can look back at my old journal and see how amazingly rich it was. The success I achieved in such a short time. I mean, within weeks and a few months, it is amazing. It is even exciting to look back on the journal and see how it unfolded and how I'm bringing it back because I know it to be true. Make sure to date your journal so you can see the progress in such a little time. We don't understand as humans at what high frequency that God created us. It is amazing how much you can achieve through the power of the written word." And remember the attitude of gratitude. I shared a tool, writing down what you're grateful for every day. The morning is good, the evening is good. Just the rhythm is more important than doing it right. And the purpose of the attitude of gratitude and a journaling exercise is to start creating coherent emotion at will. Because that coherent feeling, that coherent emotion that you build as a real estate agent, that begins to translate into every call you make with your SOI. They can feel you over the phone. If you are upbeat, positive, grateful, excited about the next deal, they're going to want to work with you. If you're fearful, doubtful, stressed, overwhelmed, they don't really want to work with you with that kind of energy, unless they really like you. And you've already done a couple deals with them. So remember that these practices I'm giving you are really powerful in rhythm. To know and not to do is not to know. So if you've never journaled before in your entire career as an agent, start writing for 5 to 10 minutes a day. Gratitude. Keep it simple. And then there are many other ways to journal and many other exercises you can learn later on. Just keep it simple and get into that attitude of gratitude and write it down. Now, one agent also asked me, well, I've got a journal on my computer. Does that count? No, it doesn't, because writing is a psychoneuromotor activity. And writing, my coach, KT, taught me that writing creates up to 10,000 neural pathways in the central nervous system, the brain, mind, body connection. When you type, it's only 8. It's 4 fingers. Thumbs don't count for neural pathways. Thumbs are about connection. But 8 neural pathways, 10,000 neural pathways, which is more powerful in the act of creating coherent feeling, positive energy in your body. Writing is so much more powerful. And when I'm over at Knolly's house and we're masterminding ways to serve you all in better and better ways, because we're looking 2 years out, 5 years out, and 10 years out right now. Knolly's got an 8-foot whiteboard on his wall, and we're writing. We're writing in multiple colors. Word is left brain, color is right brain. So you can integrate these two together. And writing in color is also more powerful than writing in black. Wearing color is more powerful than wearing black. And so these are just some simple upgrades and refinement from the Mindset Monday teaching I wanted to share with you. And now I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to talk about your why as an agent. And this is going to be some powerful information I'm about to share with you. I was in prayer all week and I was really doubting what to teach next. Like I didn't know, like, what can I share that can add the most value? Because every Thursday I'm looking at what is the greatest gift I can give you that will give you the most leverage for success right now in your real estate business? And that was the question I was asking God. And this is the answer I got. And I'm a little uncomfortable teaching this because it's so radical and it's so different than what you've been told to do as an entrepreneur, as a real estate agent. So just everyone take a deep breath in. This is going to be some powerful, powerful information. Yeah. And take this information with a beginner's mind. And you pretend like you just landed and you're ready to really take your business to a whole new level by connecting to your why in real estate. Write these 3 questions down before I go into the slide deck. Who do I serve? Why do I serve? And how do I provide exceptional value as an agent? Who do I serve? Who do you love to work with as a real estate agent? Why do you serve? Why are you doing this? For your business, for your marketplace, for your community. And how do you, as a top agent, knowing your zone of genius, knowing your personality profile, and now we use both systems, DISC and Wealth Dynamics, they both work. How do you provide exceptional value? What makes you new and different? And then the answers to these questions will lead you to your spirit and your spiritual purpose as a real estate agent. Let's dive in to this really powerful and insightful slide deck. All right, how to build spiritual business mastery through your own day of spirit. A clear and simple way to attain happiness, success, and fulfillment in your life and business by harnessing universal power and uniting with your great self. Oh, I just realized I'm not on full screen yet. Let me try this again. All right, can you guys see my full screen?
No, we see everything. Hit the present you should see present at the top.
All right, stand by. I'm gonna do a screen share one more time.
Oh, your toolbar is not showing your there it is. See the present at the very top?
Ah, there we
top
go.
Right?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Knolly. All right, so first slide. We're moving from the information age to the age of spirit, where all of our businesses can be directed by divine power and our technology can become an extension of our identity and aligned with our deepest purpose. So there's a saying, the mind is a wonderful student, dangerous master. Technology is the same way today. As a top agent and a leader, you're going to want to learn how to build your identity as a top agent and use technology as a tool, but not let it master you or control you. So this age of spirit is the evolution of hustle and grind business to conscious entrepreneurship. And that's really what I'm about for our agents, is I'm leading you into a conscious business, a business of conscious entrepreneurship. Consciousness means awareness, to become aware of who you are, who do you serve, why do you serve, how do you provide exceptional value. So the Wealth Dynamic Square is something that Knolly and I use as a system of God's creation, God's design. It's how you're going to create your masterpiece. First, you're going to understand your zone of genius and where you enjoy business, where you find your flow. And then you're going to take your identity in the marketplace, build a high 6-figure business, and then you're going to start attracting a team around you that balances this square out in your business. And Knolly and I are an example of that right now. Knolly is a Steel Lord and I'm a Blaze Star. And once we bring in a deal maker, which is Facebook, we've got a balanced business. Knolly builds the systems. I go out and shine the light and connect people, places, ideas, and things. And then we have social media or other agents in our team close the deals. And this is the balance of the square. We'll go more into that later. The 5 elements of creation in the Wealth Dynamic Square is wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, which is creation, collaboration, connection, completion, and flow. So the 5th element is what I'm going to be talking about today, which is spirit. and flow, and how we can enhance that connection to spirit in our business. And this is from my mentor, Roger Hamilton. I'm going to quote him because this is so profound as you contemplate this for your business. So the fifth element also has a leadership style. While the four basic frequencies are based on creation, collaboration, consultation, and calculation, the fifth frequency is based on contribution. The fifth element is key to flow in our business. The more water element we have in our business, and the more water element in nature, the better the garden grows. The more contribution follows. Flow is based on not just effective receiving, but more importantly, effective giving. This, however, is a choice in our business. Some of us have chosen to ignore this process of growth and contribution in our business. Some of us go from day to day without ever asking the question, why am I doing this? Why am I creating a real estate business? What is my purpose? Who do you serve? Why do you serve? How do you provide exceptional value? Knowing why we are doing what we are doing to give back leads us inevitably to our fortune in real estate, and fortune follows flow. So Knolly has a really big why. You're all here because of his why. But Knolly didn't know that why in the first couple of years. It began to form and postulate and cultivate over time. So you having these questions now in your real estate business and being able to answer them and translate them into your SOI and your niche and your brand identity is very, very powerful. It saves you a lot of time because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And it's counterintuitive in business because we're always in the how. We're always thinking about how. And doing the two is important. And yet, why are you doing what you're doing? So that's my mentor, Roger, on the left right there. He was in Austin last year. And he's just a really brilliant teacher of conscious entrepreneurship. And we're going to be sharing a lot more of his work in what we're doing here at Knolly Success Coaching. So increasing our connection to spirit and our why increases our capacity to stay in flow when all the world, as we have known it, is crashing down and falling apart. You know, what's going to keep you moving through the fear and the doubt and the uncertainty in the marketplace is that connection you have to yourself and to God and spirit and to your flow. And leaning into that a little bit more. Flowing connection to spirit cultivates within us a natural resilience to any stress or challenge that we may face in our business. When you know why you're doing what you're doing and you have a powerful purpose and connection to spirit, there's grace in your business and there's flow. Working in flow is uniting with the spirit and becoming universal power in action to know yourself, to know who you really are, aligned with your deepest purpose on the path of least resistance. Who do you serve in your market? Why do you serve them? How do you provide exceptional value? And this is why I created the Spirit Day, an entire day for you to unplug and get into the mastery and embodiment of your divine plan for your business and your deepest purpose. Along with giving, there must be receiving. There must be a time for you to take out each week where you connect and dig deep into some of these activities that Knolly and I are unpacking for you. And, you know, Knolly teaches a lot about the right mindset and the activities in real estate. And I'm bringing in the inner game. I'm bringing in some of the things that you can do in your inner game that's going to translate powerfully into your outer game. And whoever's unmuted, please mute yourself. So your Spirit Day defined is a day completely absent of all technology where each of us can create the proper environment to harness universal power and learn to connect with our great self. Warning, as you unplug from technology for a day, there are going to be some obstacles on your path. One of them is compulsion. I got to, I have to, and I must. Got to, have to, must. Got to check my phone. Got to check Facebook. Got to, have to, got. And you're going to encounter that pattern as you start to unplug, and you're going to be the observer and let it go. And just this, what I'm about to teach you is very powerful because it's a reset. It's a spiritual reset. It's a mental and emotional reset for you to get back connected to your heart, your purpose, and your why. This may or may not be for everybody, But for those of you who really know you've been really stressed or know you're feeling overwhelmed and burnout, this is exactly for you. And as Artemis Prime is here, I'm here to be your coach and to help you stretch and help you get into some practices that are going to help break the pattern and get you reconnected to spirit, reconnected to your deep, deep source of nourishment. Another obstacle about the Spirit Day is going to be the need to belong and craving connection with others. A lot of us are spending too much time on social media because we're craving connection. There's nothing wrong with that. And yet on that Spirit Day, that day you choose to unplug from technology, you're going to have that craving for connection. So I'm going to give you some tools to overcome that craving and go deeper. Now, the root cause of all these obstacles is fear. That's what's holding us back from success, is fear and doubt. You know, the reason Knolly and I create systems and weekly videos and books and audios is to keep you moving so that you can take action. And action does heal fear. And also being able to change your behavior and your patterns at the same time. And so as you unplug from technology just for a day, just for 24 hours, these are the things that are going to come up for you. Compulsion, addiction, need to belong, craving connection. Be willing to be the observer and the participant. Be willing to observe these patterns as they've been acting in your business and learn to let them go. And get into your Spirit Day. Benefits of a successful Spirit Day: reducing stress and clearing that monkey mind. Got to, have to, must, got to get on the phone, got to check, got to get, it's just like, it's like disconnecting and reconnecting to spirit is such a powerful way to reduce stress every week. And it recharges your week, your business, with spiritual fuel. Your Spirit Day is also going to help you connect to those peak energy flow states, those peak states of consciousness as you start doing some of these activities. With a one-day unplug, you can also get to pristine mental and emotional clarity throughout the rest of your week. So I did a Spirit Day a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed that one day of unplugging and just being with my spiritual activities created so much more power and dynamic lead generation, dynamic activities. I had more mental clarity, I had more mental power, I had more emotional fuel the rest of the week after just taking one day to unplug. A successful Spirit Day also creates a deep level of trust, guiding your business from universal power and intelligence. And ultimately, as you learn to make technology your student and not your master, more deals and sales will come in by connecting to this universal power. 99% is off your radar in real estate. Remember that. 1% is what you can see, 99% is off the radar. And you pull that in by spirit, by connection, by alignment, by getting into flow, by knowing who you are and how you serve and why you serve. These are very, very powerful things to begin to connect with and practice. By fasting, the body learns to obey the soul. By praying, the soul learns to command the body. William Secker. Fasting from technology can be a good thing, especially for a lot of us who've been in overwhelm and stress. And it's thick right now in our atmosphere, in our planet right now. And sometimes just a little fasting, just a one-day fast, can break you free and open up the floodgates of heaven, open up the floodgates of spirit to flow through you. By fasting from technology, the mind can become quiet and connect to spirit. In the stillness of your mind, you can receive instruction from your great self. The great master once said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works will he or she do, because I'm going to the Father. The great works you will do in your business and in your life are discovered from cultivating spiritual insight, inner sight. Who do I serve? Why do I serve? How do I provide them exceptional value? What is my purpose in my business? How can I connect to that purpose, that inner sight?" Insight is obtained when the outer five senses have been quieted. But how many of us in this world of in this information age, are compulsively going to our smartphones and technology looking for the answer, when really the way out is in. And when those outer five senses have been quieted on your spirit day, your inner senses, your inner connection, your intuition can start to become heightened. And it takes a full day of disconnection for some of you to get that reconnection to your inner senses. Some of you have been in such a state of hustle and overwhelm, it's difficult to connect to those inner senses and receive instruction. And so that's why I'm giving you this challenge of the Spirit Day, is that for some of you, it's been a long time since you've connected to those inner senses, that inner power that you have as an agent and leader. And spiritual insight and harnessing universal power is attained from stillness, silence, and creating the proper environment that supports the connection to your great self. So I want to talk about how do we create that environment on your Spirit Day to help you disconnect and reconnect. Step one, choose your Spirit Day. Weekend is good, a Saturday or a Sunday. Now note, all the remaining steps are voluntary, but they're not optional. So for some of you who want to do a Spirit Day to enhance your creativity, your clarity, your mental power, your mental and emotional energies, you're voluntarily doing this. You don't have to do this. This is of your own volition. I'm inviting you to take a Spirit Day and to really connect to these activities. And then you may choose to make this a monthly habit or a weekly habit if it really feels good to you. Step number two, on the evening before your Spirit Day, here's the challenge to our monkey mind. Remember, technology is a wonderful student, dangerous master. So what I'm asking you to do in step number two, turn off all non-essential smartphones, tablets, computers, and laptops for one full day. What? Yes. Just try it out. It's going to bring up some obstacles and some challenges on your path, because so much of what we do is technology driven, and yet has the technology been serving you in the way you've been using it? And so step two is where you start to test and initiate yourself into the Spirit Day. You just say, okay, I'm turning everything off. Now, non-essential. If you've got family and kids and you need to talk to your kids, you can leave your phone on and answer your phone. I mean, everyone take this step within your current circumstances, of course. You don't have to be completely strict with this rule. That's why I say non-essential: smartphones, tablets, computers, and laptops. Step number three, on the morning of your Spirit Day, practice the 5 rhythms of mind, body, and business mastery. What are the 5 rhythms? Hydration, movement, breath, journaling, and reading sacred text. So here I am in my little sanctuary of the Holy Spirit in my back porch, and this is me right after I did my 5 rhythms. And this is how I start my day before I do my lead gen as an agent. I hydrate, I move, I breathe, I journal, and then I do the 2. That's step number 5 for me. For you, on your Spirit Day, you're not going to be doing the 2. You're going to be getting in some sacred text. Go put your mind and heart in a book that's over 1,000 years old. And my mentor, Perry Marshall, he calls this, this sacred connection with universal truth, where, read books over 1,000 years old. First thing in the morning, hydration, movement, breath, journaling, and reading sacred text. That's step number 3. Now, other activities you can do on your Spirit Day that will be helpful is a gratitude journal, and journaling the questions I asked you. Who do I serve? Why do I serve them? And how do I provide exceptional value? Now, you can also do a vision journal on your Spirit Day, writing down your 2-year plan for your real estate business and writing down your 10-year vision for your business. If it's been a while since some of you have done that vision journal, do it again, because you want to get pen to paper. God is in our vision, and it's better to be pulled by your vision than pushed by your problems. And what makes humans unique compared to all other mammals is our ability to vision and visualize and see and imagine things never before created. And so a vision journal can be very powerful on your spiritual day, because it connects you to that inner divine vision for your business and your life. And as you do your gratitude journal, as you journal next to a lake or stream, as you write in your vision journal, be specific. Specificity brings feeling. So practice writing with specificity. Specificity brings feeling. Feeling amplifies creation, passion, and purpose in your business. Now, I also mentioned journaling next to a lake or stream because large bodies of water, if you're near a large body of water, go get out and journal or meditate next to that body of water because it helps to clean up the emotional body. Right now, the planet is in a lot of fear right now. Fear is up for us. And we want to clear that fear by getting in nature and letting God's kingdom and the water element clean and clear the mind and body. So getting out in nature and doing these exercises makes it many times more powerful and more effective. Time in nature on your spirit day. Time with family on your spirit day. Time in love and intimacy on your spirit day. These are the things you can do to enhance and upgrade the spirit day. Fasting from technology 1 day a week, 1 day a month brings alignment with spirit. Why? And then brings that spiritual focus into your technology the following week. So when you've completed your spirit day, what you'll notice on the very next day is a cleaner slate. Not necessarily a clean slate, but a cleaner slate. And you'll go back to those obsessive compulsive patterns, but you'll be aware of them. You'll have broken the pattern for a day. And you'll be aware that, oh, I don't need to go to my phone. I need to get on my lead gen. I need to get into my sphere of influence. I need to start reading success with listings. I need to get off technology and start adding value to my business, and my marketplace, and my calendar. Get off social media, get on your calendar, get on the phone. We are moving from the information age to the age of spirit, where all of our businesses and conscious entrepreneurship, our businesses can be directed consciously by divine power, and our technology becomes an extension of our identity, aligned with our deepest purpose. And this is my goal, my big, big dream for all of our entrepreneurs. As we organize our inner game and our outer game, our business starts to become an expression of spirit, of God, and of purpose. And then the technology is now just an extension of that as we rise up and get into flow and get into the right actions and then use technology as the right expression. The spirit day is just a reset, just to recalibrate and realign. So that when you get back into the world of technology, you're now really ready and in alignment with who do I serve, why do I serve, how to provide exceptional value. Getting into the right actions with the right purpose, the right alignment. And that's what I have for today.
Wow, that's good stuff, Artemis. I feel like you gave us a little bit of a fire hose there, man.
Yeah, I'm going to record this into a video and have it for later. I'm also going to record a video on the complete breath and the 5 rhythms for all our agents too. So I'm going to have a lot of this on videos that agents can plug into. Because every powerful, this principle of a spirit day I got from the book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Magic of Thinking Big. David Schwartz says every leader in business has a day to themselves where they can contemplate and think and ponder. And so I just unpacked that principle that David Schwartz taught me 10 years ago, and I call it a spirit day because Roger Hamilton, when we look at the 5 elements of business creation, that spiritual element is often overlooked. So he says, create a spirit day. So a lot of leaders, you are all leaders on this call, by the way. Every one of you is a leader. And being able to take that time to yourself and do the spiritual activities is so simple, but it translates to such power in your business when you do it. And yet how many of us have not done that in a while? So this training today is just a call to action. Some of you have done this in the past, but have dropped it. Like Wendy, she's used to journal all the time, dropped it. It's like, all right, pick it back up. Some of us used to take time as leaders to be alone, to be with ourselves and to ponder. You've been in such a hustle and grind, go back to it.
Yeah.
Revisit it. And these are powerful, powerful things we can do in our real estate business to recalibrate into spirit, into flow. And
Yeah, so I've been kind of monitoring the questions, and I think I've done a pretty good job staying on top of these. So I think we're pretty good there. Let's continue the conversation, guys. There were a couple of comments about some of you guys are in fear a little bit, and what can you do right now? Remember, we already had 2 calls where we talked about. In fact, let me just share that with them, Artemis, real quick. If you go, you can see my screen right now. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can, what you want to look for is how to thrive in today's uncertain times. That's the first video that we did, Artemis and I, where we talked about how do you get through, because some of you guys are new. So you're like, well, what do I do right now? Because Artemis, we're talking a lot of cool stuff, but there's still people that are kind of new, and they don't realize that we already covered, what they should be doing if they're in fear, and what are they supposed to be doing right now to work on their business. So check out that video. And there's one more, this one right here, the 5 actions to take right now, okay, to guarantee your success. Go to that video. So just watch those 2 if you're new to the group, and you need to know, hey, what do I do, right now? Go to our channel and watch that. How about the slides, Artemis? Are we going to have access to those?
yeah, I can upload the slide deck as well. And I'm actually going to record it just right after this meeting. I'm going to do a professional YouTube video on that presentation, and then it'll be available for people to watch again. Kevin did ask, can you do a spirit day with your spouse? Yes, remember we live on a free will planet, and your spouse has free will. So it needs to be by agreement. So you want to set the intention with your beloved. Say, hey, I got this great idea from my coach Artemis about just unplugging for a day. Would you be interested? How would you like to do it? What's it look like for you? What's fun for you? What would you like to do? And really get that, ideas, because there's juicy ideas of unplugging, what that looks like. And don't worry, guys. A lot of you, the business will be there for you on the day
Yes.
after your spirit day. It'll be there.
Yeah. It will. And the future business looks really bright. That's the reason why I came up with the top 5 niches, this whole series. But it is, I mean, right now it's like, hey, we need now money. But the reality is that if we position ourselves, that's what Artemis and I are trying to do with you guys. It's like that kid that wants to go to college, but he's barely in 2nd grade. And what Artemis and I are doing with you guys is we're really, really, really trying to position you with the best material so that you're going to get your chance at bat. Don't worry. You're on the bench right now. I get that. You're going to get, but when you swing, you're going to hit a home run every time. That's what we're really trying to prepare you for. Wouldn't you say, Artemis?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, time on task over time. So making sure that you're doing the activities that we're teaching, following the units. Unit number 1, which is clearing your digital noise and getting pristine, and your focus on email and technology. And then unit number 2, which is successful listings. Unit number 3 is accountability partner. And then you act and do the things that we're teaching you, you're going to be successful. But we're all at different places in our business development. So not only have a little bit of a challenge in trying to meet everybody's needs for where they're at. So just make sure the units are assimilated, digested, and acted upon. And even if you're highly successful in real estate, get a coach and get someone who can kick your butt and help you grow. That's why I'm in Knolly's life. I'm the one that actually kicks his butt and keeps him growing.
Absolutely.
So wherever we're at, make sure you have a coach and a mentor. And if you can't afford one right now, come to KSC every day, every Thursday, plug in, ask questions in the Facebook group. And then when you can, that's one of the things we mentioned on the last video is everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs a mentor. Absolutely get a coach and a mentor. Because for some of those who need to clear their fear, your coach will help you to do that.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have today. Another one in the books. We're here week by week, but remember, in the middle of the week, your accountability partner is there to help you. So make sure you finish unit number 3. You get your accountability partner right within the group. Okay, somebody that you resonate with, and follow the instructions for that. This is not like this is not a networking or a social. This is accountability. So make sure you do it correctly. Hey, I love you guys. Artemis, we both love you. and we will see you guys on the next one. God bless.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Awesome.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm gonna end it for real now.